right, you heard the challenge. Persuade with power, so let's get to work. This whole notion of words being overused and watered down occurred to me a couple weeks ago. I was driving along listening to sports radio and, blah, 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 the words going in and out. And happened to catch my attention that an NFL quarterback was referred to as an iconic figure. And it caught my attention, and I struggled with that a bit, and I mulled it over, and then I, driving alone in the car myself, blurted out, really? Really? A guy that throws a ball up and down a field one day a week for a few months a year is an iconic figure. I didn't get it, and it kind of offended me. To me, iconic figures are a handful of people in our country, in our world, in history, are iconic figures. So then it caused me to pay attention to more words and things that I heard and read that described people and events. And over the next couple of weeks, I learned that there was an epic battle between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Epic. I learned that every day, actors, actresses, sports figures do historic performances. I learned that people are beloved by all. And lastly, I think this was last weekend, on the same weekend, two separate events were both one for the ages. So it kind of disappointed me, and then as I started thinking about leadership, I think we've done the same thing with leadership. It's a word that's far overused and we've lost our meaning. The meaning that I think we tend to fall to today is that people who are leaders are visible. They're people that we know, that we see. They're in organizations, they're heads, they have a position, they have a title, they have a rank. And because they have that, they're visible to us. We know who they are, we see them, they're on covers of magazines. And because they have those positions, they have power and authority that comes along with it. And because they have power and authority, they're influential. And because they're influential, we conclude that they must be leaders. And so I wanted to use Time Magazine, which I've used in another speech, to talk about this. So here's a leader, Kim Jong-un, of North Korea. He's a leader. He has a position. He has a title. In fact, his title is Supreme Leader. He has power and authority. He indiscriminately kills people. He starves his people. He deprives them of basic human rights. He's a leader. How about Abubakar Shekau? He is the head of Boko Haram terrorist group in Africa. Now, he has a position, probably titled Chief Bad Guy. He has power and authority, indiscriminate killing, kidnapping, terrorism. He is a leader. By our definition that we default to, he is a leader. Now let me introduce you to a couple other people here. How about Malala Yousafzai? Ever heard of her?
Thanks.
She's 17 years old. She is not ahead of anything. She's probably still in school. She's not ahead of an organization, doesn't have power and authority. In fact, she's just kind of an activist and an advocate for children in South Asia and their rights and their right to education. But yet she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize last year. Or how about Kira Orange Jones? She's not the head of anything. She's not on the cover of the magazine. She doesn't have any power and any authority. She's an activist, she's an education reformer in the inner city, the urban core of New Orleans. And through her efforts, the high school graduation rate in the urban core has gone from 50% to 75%. That is remarkable. Yet these two people, Malala and Kira, don't fit our definition. What's the difference between these two groups? We have two guys with position, title, power, and authority. And we have two without. Yet I think we would agree that the latter two are real leaders. It's behavior and activity. And I think that's why we need to change our definition of leadership. To my mind, and I hope I can persuade you, that leaders do, and leadership is mobilizing people to do difficult work, to make progress on challenges, significant problems and issues, complex problems that benefit their organization, their constituents, their communities, and for the common good. I want to leave you with these three logic sequences. Not all people with positions, titles, power, and authority are leaders. Not all leaders have position, titles, power, and authority. But all leaders mobilize people to make progress on difficult, challenging, complex problems for the benefit of their organizations, their constituents, their communities, and for the common good. And I hope I can drive home this point right now with one very stark example. The Medal of Honor is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a military person. It is solely awarded because of a person's behavior and activity, and not their rank. So I hope this morning I persuaded you to reconsider your definition of leadership. Thank you very much.